Hello, my name is Haley, and you are joining me for the Rewire presented by SOPHRAXIA. Welcome. I will be your guide today, and we are finishing the series of Staying Steady for this month. And it's 5 weeks in this July. It's been pretty interesting, right? So I don't know about you, but while I'm teaching this lesson on staying steady, I myself am having to also be a student of the practice of staying steady. And just because I'm practicing staying steady for the course of this teaching, it doesn't mean that I have it figured out. I'm not going to finish this course and think, okay, I know exactly how to stay steady for every situation. But I recognize the feelings that I have achieving staying steady. I'm experiencing that as I'm teaching. I realize that I'm not enduring the teaching, me showing up to the teaching. I'm not doing it for survival. I'm persevering and I'm doing it for the reason to succeed. And it's not to succeed as in, okay, I've reached the top, I'm done. It's, oh, I feel more comfortable talking in front of the camera. And it's, oh, I feel at ease with being authentic with myself, which is something that we've talked about before. You know, what does it mean to be authentic? What does it mean to show up for yourself? What does it mean to push past that uncomfortableness that you feel of doing a task that you're not familiar with? And it doesn't matter what it is. Of course, for my example is the teaching right now. And you have to put that into your life and your perspective. What are you doing in your life right now that you're enjoying doing it, even if it's challenging? You're showing up for yourself, and you realize you're checking off a task that you didn't even know that you had on your list. And you think about it. You know, we go through our life every day doing things that maybe we have to because it is part of surviving, paying the bills. So you have to actually show up that and you do it that is has an enduring component to it. But really, you have to do those things. So when you show up every single day for yourself and you show up for the practice of staying steady with doing something that's a mundane task and something that provides you with the essentials that you need to survive life, how are you showing up? Do you feel grounded? Do you feel that you are presenting yourself in the best version of yourself while you're doing those tasks? I feel a difference. I feel a difference from the time that I started to teach to the time that I feel now. My goal isn't to be the perfect meditation teacher. My goal isn't to be the perfect mindfulness person. My goal isn't to be the perfect something for someone. My goal is just to do it, just to show up, just to be present and be in this moment right now, teaching and talking. And that's something that I want you to think about, you know, because we show up for each other, and sometimes we don't have to, we hope that um, by showing up is the relationships that we're getting right. You're showing up for your friend. When you continuously show up for your friend, your bonds grow stronger. You talk more about things. You find more about that person. It's because you're showing up for that person. You're not showing up for that person because they're just there, and you don't want to do that. You're not enduring a friendship. You're showing up for them, and then eventually, the more and more you show up for your friend, the better the relationship gets. And that's exactly what we are in our mind. You know, we're showing up for ourselves inside of our minds. We're wondering and questioning everything that we have while we're sitting there. And it doesn't need to be silence. Silence is silence is imaginary. It's in your head. You can be silent in your mind, or you can. That's up to you. You have to practice that. You have to practice showing up for yourself. You have to practice sitting with yourself. You have to practice um, understanding when the noises come in from out the outside world. that you're staying stable, you're staying grounded inside your mind. Because that's the practice of staying steady. It's the continuation of it. It's the showing up. It's recognizing that maybe today my thoughts were a little bit more distracting today, and that's okay. We're not judging them. We're just sitting with them. And then maybe you're sitting with yourself the next day and you realize, wow, I liked that. You're not judging it. You're just like, okay, all right. That's a different me that showed up that day. And that's what I think that there maybe sometimes there's a confusion of um, practicing sophraxia, right? You're coming here. You need to be in a silent place. You need to sit and make sure there's no noises around you. Make sure the kids aren't talking. Maybe make sure your family's not there. Maybe your friends, and that's that's a that's a that's distractions that you need to practice understanding and observing. And so if you stop for a moment any part of your day, you can stop with the chaos that's outside because you're practicing not having chaos inside your mind. So so today's practice is going to so today we I want to tell you, showing up for yourself is the best thing that you can do to be grounded and be able to um, persevere against the world and what it has to offer, because the world doesn't get easier. It's just that you can handle situations better. And I believe that you can. I know that I can. I know that I have been doing my best to show up for myself, and it's worked. I'm doing it. I'm practicing sophraxia. I'm showing up for myself. I'm staying steady. So as we move about today's meditation, or today's you know self-realization, when you're inside or your mind and wanting to know what to do with all those thoughts, think about how you're feeling when thoughts arrive and how you're noting them. Think about it when feelings arise, and how you're noting them, and then return them back, because that's a practice of doing the R&R. We recognize, we note, we return. So whatever the situation is in the meditation today, that's what we're going to make sure that we stick with, right? So with that, I thank you for being here for my practice, seeing me staying steady, and I hope that whatever you do in your life, you just remember to keep showing up for yourself, and to know that life isn't about enduring and surviving. Um, it's truly about persevering to succeed in living, and that's the main thing I want you to bring with your mind today. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's get this going, and get prepared to sit with yourself. So let's go ahead and get comfortable wherever you are. Of course, if you prefer to be sitting straight up, maybe you're laying down, maybe your feet are on the floor, maybe they're beneath you. Whichever position feels most comfortable for you is where you want to be. You don't want to be too comfy cozy. You don't want to necessarily fall asleep in a meditation, but you want to be aware of your surroundings and where you're at. So with that, let's go and take a few deep breaths together. We're going to be breathing in through the nose, or holding it, and you're breathing out through the mouth, holding it again. And there are going to be counts of 4. And I'll walk through the first one with you. Ready? Let's begin. Breathe in through the nose. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Release. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. In through your nose. Let's do it again. One more time. Now return back to your normal breathing. Relax the shoulders. Relax any tension in your forehead, in your cheeks, in your jaw. And I want you to gently close your eyes now. And as you close your eyes, I want to think about where you are right now. How your body feels. How your arms are positioned over your legs, maybe beside of you. And where your legs are sitting. How your toes feel. Your entire body just relaxing into this position. Resisting any urge to move too quickly, to push through any maybe itches you feel, to just be sitting in this moment right now. You want to do normal breaths. And I want you to observe where you are in your mind. How are your thoughts? How are your feelings? Don't worry about what happened this morning, this afternoon, or what's going to happen tomorrow, tonight. Anxiety is stress that hasn't happened. Just remember that. Anxiety is stress that hasn't happened yet. You're here. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. If you find you're getting a bit distracted, go ahead and make sure you breathe in through the mouth as a 1 inhale and breathe out as a 2 exhale. And you'll count to 10 if you need to, but only up to 10. Remember, if your thoughts get distracted, or they distract you, or a feeling distracts you, you just recognize it, you note it, and then you return back to your practice. Return to that breathing. Return to the moment that you're in right now. I am so incredibly proud of you for showing up for yourself today. Remember to keep breathing. Now I want you to come back to where you're at. Recognize where you're seated. Recognize any thoughts that are coming into your mind. Allow them to move freely. Notice any smells. And just let your mind roam freely. Think of anything you'd like. You're the conductor for all your thoughts. You don't want any musical instruments playing any louder than they need to. You just want to slowly recognize that you're in the present moment. Wiggle your toes. Relax the shoulders. Practice patience, waiting, enjoying the moment for yourself. And when you're ready, gently open the eyes. Let's go ahead and just get a big stretch. However that looks or feels. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but I needed to meditate today. I feel so much better. I feel I feel that I had a better understanding of my mind, and especially for showing up for myself every day, but especially showing up for myself teaching every Wednesday. It's been really hot in the Florida summer, and sometimes it takes a toll on me. I feel pretty tired. And today I didn't want to come to class. I didn't want to teach. I was trying to figure out how I was going to get out of it. Um, but then I realized that that's the uncomfortable part, right? The part that says, I don't want to do this anymore. Can you recall a task that you're doing that and you just feel like you're like, ugh, I don't want to do it because I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I don't want to push through that. I don't want to have to do that. Um, and then you do that and you do the task or you finish what you set out to do. And afterwards you feel great. You feel energized, or you feel like you're accomplished. You feel like you had a responsibility for yourself, that you showed up and you succeeded. And that's what staying grounded is. That's what continuing on. Mm, It's just such a beautiful thing to be able to present um, yourself with like a mini award for um, holding to your word. So to try that out, whenever the task is, I want to, ask yourself, are you enduring it, or is it perseverance that you're trying? Because one of them is because you have to do it to survive, and then one of them is because you want to do it to succeed. And then and it feels good. It feels good to check that off. So Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have had a wonderful practice, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And just remember, be self aware, and there's no pressure. Let's just practice. Bye.